All right, guys. Let me apologize first. I did not film my overseeding like I said, and I truly apologize, but you'll see the reason right here in a few minutes why I didn't overseed this. Now, this area right here, I overseeded this 2 weeks ago, just this little tiny area before I done my main yard. So today's, I think, the 3rd, September 3rd, and I overseeded my main yard Saturday, which was, what, 30th, 31st, something like that. I don't know. August 30th, August 31st, something like that. But, so this was done 2 weeks prior. You can see it's still got some spots. I had to reseed some spots. It's the same old situation here with the heavy rain and washouts. Most of it come in pretty good, except for a few spots. And you can see a bunch of new grass all in it. It's already been mowed one time, and I just had to, like this spot right here. It's got seed in it. So reseeded those spots Saturday when I done the main yard again. Obviously, they weren't gonna come up in 2 weeks. It wasn't gonna come up. So yes, I still have nutsedge also. A lot of it. I can grow some nutsedge, I tell you. But on to the main yard here. Now, I'm going to tell you, we tore this thing all to pieces. I mean, I power raked it, or power broomed it. My broom come in. I'll put some video in here. And so I cut it down to, I power broomed it first, then blowed the, all the junk off of it. And the power broom, it just, it wipes these spots, these bad spots out completely, basically. I mean, it just takes all the dead out of it. And, I had it at a lower setting to do that with. But then I cut it down to 2 1/4 inches, sprayed fungicide that afternoon, TM 4.5, and seeded Saturday. Had Todd come with the aerator. My buddy Jason, he come also, and they're the ones that help me fix all these little itty bitty spots, because obviously you can't overseed a whole yard like these spots need to be overseeded. It would just be entirely too thick. So we had to hand do all these spots, weasel them in, and I just didn't have time to film. I mean, we barely got done before it started raining, and it's rained again today. That's why I've got the blankets on some of the more bare spots. But I glyphosated that spot, and then there's one out here. I don't know exactly what that was. The other one was bent grass, but I don't know what this was. It looked like some kind of fescue, but it didn't look like the fescue I wanted. So done away with her, glyphosated it, and let her have it. But you can see all these little spots from the damage of this summer and all the rain. Honestly, it's the worst it's ever been. I done everything I could do to stop it, and 15 inches of rain from middle of June to August. That's a lot of rain. And then it was hot. Hasn't been hot, last 2 weeks. It is going to get up to 88 Friday again, and then cool back down to high 70s, low 80s. But again, most of the yard out in there, all of it, it's all pretty well good to go, besides, you know, where I brushed it and obviously the aerator. So we'll look right here. Now that I seeded straight Apex turf top tall fescue, no bluegrass, it's straight fescue in it. We'll look right here. Now keep in mind, I seeded this Saturday and today's Wednesday. So we're gonna see what we got here. See if we can find some grass seed in here. Look at there. Right there. Already germinating 4 days. I mean, you can see it right there for yourself. Hopefully they'll focus and not quit focusing on my finger. Right there. So we'll look right here, see what we see in here. There's one that's starting to pop the root out. So hard to film. Right there's a baby. Right there. So it's a coming in. So let's talk about the watering. A lot of folks make a huge mistake on doing watering for this stuff. Obviously, you got to keep the soil moist to get the seed to germinate. Typically, something around 3 times a day. I run my zones 5 minutes 3 times a day. 5 to 6 minutes. This zone right here, actually, I only run it 4 minutes because it puts out a lot. I got some bigger nozzles in this area to cut my irrigation time down when I normally irrigate, but the precipitation rate matches the rest of them out there. So I only do 4 minutes on this zone. But the biggest thing that people do when they're trying to establish grass is overwater. Yes, you have to keep the soil moist. It's not so much keeping the seed moist, it's keeping the soil moist. The seed draws moisture from the soil. Once this germinates and comes up, I mean, it's only been 4 days, so obviously, you know, I can't cut the water off of it yet. But once this germinates and comes up, you don't have to keep watering like that anymore 3 or 4 times a day. It's just not needed, guys. For one, there's going to be plenty of moisture in the soil from where you're trying to water this stuff and get germination. And once that root tacks down, it's going to start taking off. So, you know, don't keep hammering it with water 3 and 4 times a day once you get decent germination. It's just not needed. You're just asking for trouble, especially if the conditions are favorable still for disease. If you're going to water 1 time a day, longer, early in the morning, just like you normally would your yard once it gets germinated. Again, you know, you watering 3 or 4 times a day, especially on an overseed. You know, this grass, it keeps moisture in the soil. It's just like, you know, if you don't have irrigation or not getting any rain, you keep your grass taller because it shades the soil and it keeps moisture there. It's the same way for the grass seed. This ain't gonna dry out. It's gonna be very hard for this to dry out. Now, a bare dirt spot, yes, it would dry out a whole lot faster than anything out in there. So, you know, there's plenty of moisture there in the soil still. I come out here and actually hand water these little bare spots if they need it. And you know, it's just the way I do stuff. I mean, I'm not scared to work at this. Do it every single year. I wish I didn't have it. I wish it didn't look like this. It's just more work, but you know, at the end of the day, I would imagine here in about another day. Now it rained today, so I'm probably I haven't even watered today. It rained this afternoon. I didn't water any today, and if I do water tomorrow, I may run a longer irrigation tonight and not even water anymore during the day. I mean, there's plenty of moisture in the soil, and if I come out here and I look at these little dirt spots and they look like they're drying up, then I'll hit them with water. I mean, you can see right there's a water hose. I drag it over here and water these spots as needed. So let's walk over here to the kryptonite of me. You see that right there? Yes, my driveway. This tree, Lord, this tree drops leaves. You see that right there, don't you? We'll go over here and look at this. The KBG, the kryptonite of prime time. So I seeded this again, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. And guess what? It's washed away again. Saturday after I seeded the fescue. Come a good rain, and it rained pretty good today. I'm sure it washed some of it. Now granted, there is a lot more grass on this than what they were in the videos, you can see, but there's definitely some spots, and you can see right there and right there, and then probably right here some, and then down there, and that spot just stays super wet. I'm gonna have to do something with that. And then out in there, but you know, what's new with this area? You know, I had to seed it 4 times last year again, then I'll probably have to do it 4 times this year. This is the reason why I do this so early. But I mean, there's all kinds of grass coming in places. You can see the haze right there. There ain't much right here, I tell you. There ain't much right there. Still seed there, but they just ain't much grass coming in for some reason. Definitely not in this spot. This is where it runs off right here. You can see my sand down here, and some Kentucky bluegrass seed there. There's a little bit coming in there. Maybe it's buried a little bit. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Quite a bit coming up right there. So we'll just have to see. Maybe it's buried. I won't put any more seed on it until a couple more weeks at least. Remember when I told you I was gonna have a good stand of Kentucky bluegrass in my bed? Now, all you folks will know that I don't tell no lies. I told you it was gonna be in the beds. There you go. So, right here's the end of it. And up there's that. That'll tell you something right there, how bad this washes away. Right there's some. Right there's some prime time apex twilight. Right there's some. There. So again, it's all basically right there's some. So now I get to glyphosate all that. Right there's even some right there. Stuff grows wherever you don't want it to, and you can't get it to grow where you want it to. But overall, I mean, I don't guess it's super bad. I mean, it ain't great, but I mean, there's a lot of grass coming in, and hopefully most of it, when I redone it, got buried some. What I done was I took my groundskeeper 2 rake and I just raked it lightly to loosen the soil back up good. Spread my seed over top of it and then lightly raked it in again. But there is not much coming up right there in that area whatsoever. Not a lot over here either. I mean, it's coming in pretty good in places. And no, these spots right here that I was telling you about, I'm not waiting on that crap. I mean, if it don't come in any better than that, it's getting more seed. I've done this too much to know if it ain't coming in here in at least another week, I ain't got time to wait on this stuff, guys. I've done the same thing last year and it turned out fantastic till about July. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I apologize again that I didn't film this on the 12th. I think it's the 12th. I'm supposed to go with Todd over to Jason's house. Jason come help weasel, and I'm gonna try my best to film that if I go to that. So that'll be your content. I think it's gonna be the exact same thing. I'm hoping Todd will power broom it so you guys can see that, and he's gonna be doing the aerator for sure. So let's see if we got anything down in here. I would say probably right there's one. Right there's a little one. This area stays more shaded, so it doesn't quite get as much heat as the rest of it. Don't see much there. But there's you a update video. I'll do another one probably in another week. Show you what it looks like. It should be a pretty big difference, hopefully. But overall, just besides the little bitty spots, the 200 of them that we had to weasel in, you know, it's not bad. It just is what it is. Hopefully it won't rain 15 inches next summer when it's 95 degrees, but you know, there's nothing you can do about it if it does, besides applying the fungicides, and then, you know, that's not even enough, evidently, when it rains that much. But anyway, if you're still wanting the Apex seed, it's still for sale, or the Apex Blue, or the Twilight KBG. It's the top of the top cultivars. You know, I've showed the NTEP test, showed them in my Facebook group. If you're not a member of Primetime Fescue, join. There's a lot of good information in there also. I can certainly give better information in there than I can on YouTube because I have time to do so. That's one of my main focuses, is the group. So primetimefescue.com if you want that grass seed, or if you want the plant food company, primetimefescue.com. So appreciate you watching, appreciate the support, and we'll see you in the next one.